Okay, so we're going to get started now. So I welcome everybody who has joined this webinar with Zoho. So today we're going to discuss about how to track and engage your website visitors. And so today, the hosts are the voice that you're hearing. That's me. That's on the left side of the screen. That's Ambi Murthy. I'm the product marketer with Zoho. And then we have Radhika, who's also the product marketer from Zoho. Welcome, Radhika.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hello.
hello. So Radhika says hello to everybody. And then, so let me just get started a little bit with the agenda. So we're going to give you an overview on the different tools, on the different platforms that you'll be seeing today. And then we'll be telling you how you're going to identify your website visitors, and then how you can engage them with them in real time, and also convert them into prospects, and then how you can close deals fast. So that's some high level housekeeping notes, and we're going to get started with this. So we're going to start this session by discussing about a common platform. So what do you think is a common platform for all businesses? And then, so throughout this session, there are going to be questions as well as if you have any questions, you can always drop it into the GoToWebinar question box, and then we'll take questions towards the end of the session. So, like I told, so we're going to start the discussion about what is a common platform for all businesses. So the common platform for all businesses is a website, obviously. So any business that is on the internet has a website, and then this website, it is like, how is it we've been using those websites? So let's have a look at it. So let me start with this. There's a common mistake that every marketer does. So it is like sometimes we tend to treat websites like digital brochures. So what happens is like you want to put in a lot of content over there, you want to put in some nice graphics over there, you want to put in nice discounts, you got to put in not offers. So we kind of tend to treat websites like digital brochures. But the question is it the right way to do that? Absolutely not. It's not the right way to do that. So the other common mistake that sales and marketing people do is to treat websites like signboards. Okay. So even if you ask me, is it not the right way to do that? Sometimes what we do is sometimes we just go ahead and then put download now button, click here to register. So we put a lot of signs in there, but is that the right way to handle your website? Absolutely not. It's not the right way to handle your website. The website is the place, is the entry door to your business. It is like you might have a huge, fantastic, beautiful garden orchard in there, but if your doors are not decorated or it's very artistic, so you might not attract people to enter the garden. So your website is the doors to your business. I repeat, it's the doors to your business. And the website is the place where you engage your visitors and build long-term relationship. It's the place where a prospect in the market dates. So it is like the place where you build relationship, that also long-term relationships. And that brings us to the question. So how do you measure visitor engagement? So a visitor comes onto your website, and then because you did a lot of marketing activities, and then you drove him onto your website. But what really happened? Did he convert into a prospect? Yes, no. Most of the time, the answer seems to be no. So how do you measure the success of your visitor engagement? So absolutely, the answer is a simple metric, that is by measuring the bounce rate. So most of the people on the call must be knowing what a bounce rate is, but I'm just going to brush up the basics a little bit. So there you go. The bounce rate is like the percentage of visitors who just navigated away from your website without viewing another page. So basically, they just landed on a page and then they do not go to the next page. They just came, they have a look around. Might be the page was not good enough, the content was not good enough, and then they just went off the page. So we need to measure in terms of standards. So what is the average bounce rate of your website? Okay, grab a pen and then just note it down. Okay, and no cheating, so you cannot change the number. So note it down, and then we're going to show you right now how good you fare in terms of average bounce rate. Okay, so here is a quick stat. So this quick stat is from Internet Marketing Ninjas, a very popular internet journal. So what it says is like, if your bounce rate is less than 50%, it's excellent. Okay, it does. So it makes you don't even have to be on the call today. So if you're on the webinar, you can just leave. It's like it's just more information for you. But if your bounce rate is 70% or below, what happens is it is like your webinar, your bounce rate is normal. Okay, it's not that good, that bad, but it's okay. But if it goes above that, if it's 80%, what happens is that it is poor. So your website needs attention. Get on it and work on it. And then becomes the real bad guy. So if it is 90%, then that makes perfect sense why we both are talking today in the webinar, because we're going to show you how you can improve your or bring down your bounce rate and improve customer engagement. Okay, so you can compare these stats with your own bounce rate, and that brings us to the question. Okay, good. You told me that's going to be the bounce rate and all that. So how do we reduce the bounce rate? So that's the biggest question, right? How do you even reduce it? So in terms of reducing it, what happens is that there are three major things that any marketer needs to do. So it is like you need to build quality content. Content is king, engagement is the queen. Okay, so there is the rule of the thumb, content is king. And then you need to engage website and visitors in real time. Imagine this: you spend a lot of money in marketing, you got visitors on your website, but you are not able to connect with them in real time and engage them. That's a crime. Don't do that. Don't spend your money over there if you cannot engage them in real time. And then you need better visitor insights. Okay, even if you have a lot of visitors on your website, how do you even know that they're engaged in a better way? Because you need insights. Those insights will fine tune your message, will fine tune your engagement. And I got good news as well as bad news for you. We can help you in item number 2 and 3. So that's the reason for the webinar. And 1 is pretty much with you. All the very best with that. And how do you engage your website visitors in real time? Okay, that's pretty much it. So what do we do? Simple. Zoho Sales IQ. That is it. So what we do is Zoho Sales IQ is the newest addition to the Zoho family of apps, business apps, and what it does is it just engages website visitors in real time. It provides you the sales intelligence to go ahead and then convert your website visitors into customers. Yes, I repeat, all this in real time. It converts your website visitors into customers. So what it does is it brings me to the question. So what does sales cycle even look like? Okay, so instead of you going the boring way of traditional list views of looking at prospects and all that stuff, what we have here right now is it is the unique way of representing website visitors. So what we do over here is pretty simple. So we got a atomic structure, something like that, and then we got 4 levels of 1, 2, 3, and 4 levels of visitor engagement levels. So the stars that you see over here are actually visitors on your website. And then these 4 rings are where we are going to set rules. And then let's say that the first ring, you want to say anybody who entered on my website, immediately sort them there. And anybody who entered on my website and stayed there for 2 minutes, put them over there. And anybody who entered on my website for 10 minutes, you put them over in the third ring. So likewise, you can put different rules, and then once you hit on the apply button, what happens is every people or visitors who match those different rules will get automatically into the different rings over here. And then what happens is that people who do not match any rules stay out over there. Okay, so enough being said in theory. Let's take this guy out for a spin and see what happens. So things are going to get a little bit exciting here. We're going to do a live demo for the very first time for all the people on the call. We're going to show you a short live demo and then excite you with these new features. So everybody, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you a link that's right there in your GoToMeeting chat. So can you please come on to this chat, please? So I'm going to give you like 10 seconds. Okay. So there you see, I can see people coming in here. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. So what happens is, like, just like I told you, this is happening inside Zoho Sales IQ for your information. So what happens is here, so I have set a rule saying that anybody who enters my website and then immediately I'm going to place them in the outermost ring. Okay, and then anybody as the number of time or the time increases with the time you spend on my website, I'm going to move to the innermost circle. So likewise, I got different rules, and then the innermost circle, I'm going to say people who spend more than 10 minutes on my website, move them to the innermost circle. So that makes perfect logical sense, right? Because the more this are going to be on your website, the more they're engaged and they want more information about your product or service. So go out, reach out to them, talk to them. But the next thing is, how do you even talk to them, right? Because this is like, I got like 20 people on my website or 16 people on my website right now. And basically, I need to group them so that I can pick out the hot prospects and then start a chat with them. So do you see this customize button over here? I'm going to click on that and then say, hey, Sales IQ, I want to know who are the guys who are actively browsing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say by last activity, and then these are four different rules for four different circles. So the innermost circle is going to be like people who did an action just a minute ago, and the outermost circle is going to be like anybody who did an action 10 minutes ago. So basically, they're not active on my website, and this is like intermediate stuff. So once I hit on the apply button, here comes the eureka moment. Okay, so do you see that these guys are already on my website and then they're actively browsing content? Okay, these are the hot leads, they are live on your website. Just imagine the ability to see website visitors in real time. That's a blessing. Okay, and then to go ahead and then connect with them and start a conversation with them, that's a much bigger blessing. So we're giving it over to you right now. So that being said, there are multiple rules which you can use to sort visitors. And the best part is like you can also group people based on Zoho CRM data. Okay, so that's fantastic because you can basically take any contact, any field in the contact leader potential section, and then start grouping website visitors. So it can be based on any field that you have in there. If you want to group by department, first name, you can do that. And the most used feature over here is by CRM potential, right? So everybody likes this stuff. So what happens is anytime I'm going to say CRM potential, the revenue in pipeline is more than, let's say, $50,000. Okay. So what I'm going to do is once I hit on the apply button, so everybody in the website, all the visitors on the website right now who have got a CRM potential value of higher than $50,000 are going to get uh, sorted into this circle. So right now, there are no visitors with $50,000 in there, but imagine the ability to know website visitors who are on your website, and then they have an open potential of $50,000. So what are we waiting for? Just connect with them right away and start a conversation. And I know most of you are thinking right now, okay, now I sorted website visitors, okay, and then now I know who are my hot leads are. So how do I go and connect with them? Pretty simple. Go ahead, just like you would start a phone call on your phone, click on them, and there you go. So I got Charlotte in here. Hi, Charlotte. So if you're listening, so let me see what I'm going to do over here. So this is the unique Tiles UI that Zoho Sales IQ has got. So what we're going in here is, since we have triggered a chat with them, it shows us triggered. It also gives me and says that Charlotte has spent like 4 minutes and 9 seconds on my website. That's cool. It's real time. And then this is the first visit since this person is coming over here. And the last time she visited the same link on Monday, looks like she also attended the webinar the other day that we gave. So welcome back, Charlotte. So she came she came there on Monday. So we have captured that information. So thank you very much for coming back. It gives me other data to demo to prospects, and then it gives me the physical location of where. Thanks, Charlotte. So it gives me the physical location where she is located right now, and then it also gives me where exactly the landing page this person landed for the first time. And the next one is basically the website referral. So the website referral is something like you got a lot of things going out in marketing, right? Sending out an email campaign, you got blogs, you're doing so much stuff. So basically, you need to understand which source is sending you the maximum traffic over to your website. So right now, I gave you the link. You guys jumped on it. It's pretty forward. But what you need to do is if this thing is coming, this traffic or this visitor is coming over from Google, and then you need to understand, okay, this guy is from Google. You need to recollect what message you had and then initiate a conversation. And this is basically something that we call a website footprint, and this is also in real time. So let's say that you see that basically Charlotte is moving from one page to the other, and then she's on the pricing page for 13 seconds, and then she went to a blog. Basically, I can click on this link. It will take me to the page where Charlotte is on right now. So what is the advantage? So some person who's on your pricing page for more than 10 to 20 minutes basically is looking out for some information, discount code, coupon code. Reach out to them, talk to them, close the deal. It's as easy as that. Okay, so this is the moment that we've been waiting for. We sorted, analyzed this visitor. I want to talk to Charlotte, and then I'm going to say, hi, Charlotte, how is the demo? So I'm going to ask her a real question. That's all. I start a chat. And then, so Charlotte, if you could please reply back to the chat if you're on the screen. And what happens is, once the person has got a message, basically they will get a pop-up right in here. Okay, so they'll get a pop-up on whichever page they are in, and then we can initiate a conversation. So, okay, so basically, okay, let's try with somebody else. Okay, I'm going to start a conversation with Scene in here. Hi, how can I help? So I started the conversation. So, Scene, if you could please write back. Okay. Okay, so looks like they're not able to write back. Okay, so what happens is that once we initiate a chat, the basically that you get start you'll get a pop-up on your screen, and then once you start a conversation, and it'll take you to a screen something like this. Great, loving the demo. Scene just replied back. That's good. So seen in myself at different parts of the world. He's in UK, and then I'm sitting here, and then we started a conversation. We picked him as a hot prospect, and one click of a button, what happened was we go ahead. Okay, somebody wants to buy right now. Okay, you can hold off your information until this end of this session. So there you go. So somebody even said right now Yorkshire is cold and early. So you see that, right? This is fun and intuitive in its own way. So like this, just like I don't know Scene, I don't know Charlotte, I don't know anybody. So just like that, I started a conversation right in here, and then we get connected right now. So Scene and myself, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say, okay, Scene looks like he's a good prospect, and then I need to go and push him into my CRM. Obviously, right? You want to have centralized control of things. So this nice little button in here that says push to CRM, all that you do is just go ahead, push that button, enter in a company name, and then you need to put it, you can assign a status right in here, put in the phone number, and obviously you want to know who's the sales rep who's going to follow up on that. You need to put that information in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say add lead, and this information gets synced right into Zoho CRM. And the next one, in terms of contact, what you need to do is it is like even you can go ahead and then create a contact. And the best part is create a potential right in here. I repeat, you can create a potential right in here. And then once you go ahead and then assign a values and then say, okay, this person is in a decision making space, I'm going to say add contact. This data is going to go ahead and then sit in nicely into your Zoho CRM. So you saw that 10 minutes before, myself and Scene not connected to each other. I saw him on my page. I started the conversation, and then completely strangers 10 minutes back, best friends right now. So all this happens with the power of Sales IQ and the power of Zoho CRM. So that being said, okay, so that is done, and Okay, so that brings me to the last part of the demo. Thank you so much, Charlotte and Scene. I really appreciate you writing back to me. Thanks for making this demo wonderful. So back to back to this place. So if you're wondering, is this the only criteria which I can use to sort prospects? No, we got more. The best is yet to come. You can sort website visitors based on any browser, campaign content. Let's say that there's a campaign content out there, and then you want to capture people who are coming in from the keyword customer relationship management, whatever is the keyword that you have as the hot keyword for your business. You can basically put this keyword in there. So you can do it based on campaign name, campaign source, city, country. Yes, you can do it based on country, current page. If you have a hot performing landing page, you can do that. And then you can also do it based on Google Click Identifier. So if you are a person who invests heavily on Google AdWords, this is the tool that you would need, because what you need to do is basically you can take the click identifier, put it in there, and then you can sort visitors. And this is just the beginning. There are like 20 plus criteria. Yes, I repeat, 20 plus criteria that we have in here, which you can basically take all this information and then sort or drill down visitors based on different criteria. And all these criteria are already hard coded in there. Just select whatever you want and then put in the filters, hit on apply, and you will sort visitors and then get connected to them just like that. Okay, so now that brings me to the question. Okay, you're asking me now. Some of you, I can hear you that also. So it is like, Ambi, you told me that I can sort visitors. Now you told me how you can connect with them. Okay, now how do I do it with 100 people or 200 people on my website, right? You're in luck. We handle that also. So there is something in the settings section, and then there's something called tracking rules. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a rule that is going to say landing page is equal to the home page of this website. That is basically this page. And then I'm going to say route to different users. So these users can be your agent. That can be like, I'm just going to add somebody in here. I can add him, and then I can select a way to engage them. That engage them is basically you need to send a chat invite that just pops up right on their screen like that, and then say, hey, do you need help? I'll be very glad to help you. And then the sender name, and I'm going to say, how can I help? And then you can basically put in a time and then say, initiate the chat after 20 seconds, 10 seconds or 50 seconds. So that's your choice. I'm going to say 50 seconds. So anybody who comes on to this landing page will get routed to this user with this message, and it will happen exactly after 50 seconds. And the system will collect all the replies. Let's say we initiated a intelligent trigger. We call them intelligent triggers because it adds a lot of context to the conversation. And the system will collect the replies and route it right back to the agents. You sit back and relax and start building relationships while the system takes care of going ahead and then engaging people automatically. So if you're asking, is landing page the only criteria? No, we got other information also. Just like you can use 20 plus visitor activity, website visitor activity, all this to do in real time, we can do that for sorting visitors. You can also use that to go ahead and then engage visitors automatically, all the visitors on your website automatically in real time. So that being said, so this brings me, I just would like to summarize everything. So you saw that right now, myself and Scene, we had a fantastic conversation, completely strangers, like 10 minutes back, like I told you, best friends right now. And then this can happen between you and your prospect. Okay, so that's the power of Zoho CRM and Zoho Sales IQ. And to summarize, we started with going ahead and then showing how you can sort website visitors in real time so that you filter out all the hot prospects. Then you select anybody of your hot prospects, start a conversation just like taking up your phone and texting a friend, and then he writes back to you. So, and then you move the data into Zoho CRM, and then from there, right now the cake is just half baked. Okay, so in order to you can have your pie and still eat it. So in order to add more context to your conversations, I'm going to invite Radhika, and then she's going to tell you how this data that you got from Sales IQ is going to add more context to your conversations, and then we'll tell you like how you can close deals faster. So Radhika, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hi, hello everyone. Thanks, Ambi. And yes, please keep the questions coming in. We have experts who will answer to those questions. All right, so Ambi explained about how we can go about tracking and engaging website visitors through Zoho Sales IQ. But what if you can do this from Zoho CRM itself? So before we get into the details, let's take a quick recap and some takeaway points from Zoho Sales IQ. All right, so with Zoho Sales IQ, you know who your website visitors are. You know if they are new visitors or whether they are existing customers. And if they are existing customers, you know them by their name. Just like Ambi was chatting with Charlotte. So, next, you know the duration of each website visit. So, you know the time they have spent on each of the web pages. And then you know the pages they have visited, their navigation path, and the actions they have performed in each of these web pages, whether they have downloaded the product, or whether they have downloaded a white paper, or whether they have signed up for a product, or whether they have signed up for a webinar. So you know all the actions that they have performed in each of the web pages. Now, all this information is very interesting, but what if you can get all this information in Zoho CRM? So let's take an example. Let's say you have a customer who is going to close a deal with your company in the next week, and it's a big deal that he's going to close. And this very same customer is on your website. Now, let's say that this customer is in your pricing page. So when he's in your pricing page and he's there in your pricing page for a long time, you know he is either confused between the packages, he wants some help in choosing the right edition, or he wants some discount codes. So you can reach out to him. You can basically, with all this information, you can plan your conversations and reach out to the customer through chat. And that's precisely what visitor tracking is all about. It's basically the combination of Zoho CRM and Zoho Sales IQ. So in Zoho CRM, you have your customer information, you have the potentials associated with them, and in Zoho CRM, you have the details of your website visitors. Now, what can you do with visitor tracking? So with visitor tracking, you can identify your hot prospects. You can identify the customers who are going to buy your product, who are going to purchase your product, just as how we saw in Sales IQ. And then your sales reps can be well prepared before they make a follow up call. And they can quickly convert these website visitors into customers. Now, that's really very simple to do. All right. So now, So now there are three types of visitors that actually come into your website. And that's exactly how we are categorized in Zoho CRM. That's into leads, contacts, customers, and potential customers. Now, leads and contacts, they don't have a potential associated with them. Maybe they are just in their trial period and they have not yet purchased your product. Customers, on the other hand, have at least one potential in the closed won stage. And potential customers have at least one potential in the open stage, or maybe they are negotiating and they are going to buy a product soon. So now let's see how these visitor categories are inside Zoho CRM. So when you enable visitor tracking, you'll find the visits module, and here you have the CRM view, which gives you the leads, contacts, potential customers, and customers. I repeat again, leads, contacts, they don't have any potentials associated with them. Potential customers have at least one potential in the open stage, and customers have at least one potential in the closed stage. All right, so let's drill down further. Okay, so you can see the deal size associated with this customer. Okay, you can know the number of pages that he has visited and the total time that he spent on your website. And you also have an icon which says whether you have chatted with this customer or no. All right, so you can drill down even further and you can know the details of this particular customer. So basically most of these details are from Sales IQ. So you have a picture of the customer there to your extreme right, and you have a business card view of the customer giving you the details of the account, the contact information, and then below that you have the potential summary. So how many deals you have won with this customer, how many deals you have lost, and how many deals are in the open stage. And then you have customer conversations. You have the mail conversations there. And then what else can you see? You can see the actions performed on each of these web pages. So whether he's accessed the page, the home page, and he's navigated, or whether he's chatted with you, and what is the time that he spent on each of these web pages. Next, let's look at the past chats. So there's also a PDF of the past chats that's listed here, and you also have the sales reps who have taken those chats, who have attended those chats with the customer. And this past chat is added contextually in the customer details page. And next, you also have the past visits. When did this customer come into your website the last time he visited, and whether your sales reps had a chat with him or no. So you get all that information inside Zoho CRM. All right. So all this information is fine, but how do you know when a potential customer is on your website? You don't have to look at Sales IQ. You don't have to keep switching between tabs between Sales IQ and Zoho CRM. Inside Zoho CRM, you will get an alert, something similar to this one that you can see right now. All right. So now the alerts differ for each of the visitor categories. Now I hope you remember the visitor categories. It's leads, contacts, customers, and potential customers. So now let's see how these notifications look for each of these visitor categories. So now when a new visitor comes into your website, you don't have his contact information inside Zoho CRM. So it shows as a new visitor online, and you can see the pages that he's visited, the total number of pages, and the total time that he spent on your website. And then the pages are further drilled down. You can see details about which page he's accessed and the time that he spent on each of these web page. So what you can do from here is you can just hit on the invite chat button and you can start a chat with him, and you can add him as a lead or contact inside Zoho CRM. It's as simple as that. Next, let's look at how the potential customer notification comes up. So a potential customer has at least one potential in the pipeline. So here you can see the deal size that is in the pipeline right now. And you'll also see the pages that he's visited, the time on your site, and what are the deals that's going to close this month. So accordingly, seeing this information and seeing the pages that he's visited, you can start a chat with him and convert him into customers as soon as possible. And now, when a customer comes into your website, you will know the total revenue that you've got from this customer and the potential summary. So how many deals you've won from this customer, how many deals you've lost. All right, then let's take a look at the demo. Let's have a quick demo. All right. So right here below, you have the visitors online in the website. That's the same website that we have given over here, the Xylem Inc. website. So You can see these visitors online. You can chat with them. Okay, there's one more here, one more visitor online. Yes. So you can chat with them right from here itself. And then let's look at the visits tab. So we have some customers, open potentials, and leads and contacts. So let's take a look at one of the open potentials. So it's the same thing what we saw in the screenshot. You can see the pages visited, the chat history, the visits history, and all this chat is in PDF format, so you can download it. You can see what is the conversation Patricia had with this particular contact. And if you are following up with this contact, then you can see the chat history and you can follow up accordingly. So you don't have to keep asking them the same questions over and over again. So here you have the business card view, you have the potential summary. You can also add potentials straight away from here. You can add activities and you can also add notes. So it's basically one view where you can perform a lot of actions from here itself. All right, so I think we are done with the demo. Oh yes, and how do you go about setting this up in Zoho CRM? So you go to setup, you go to apps and add-ons, you click on Zoho apps and search for visitor tracking. All right, so we already have a Sales IQ portal associated, so let's just deactivate it for now. All right, so now this is exactly how it's going to look. Click on enable. Now, since we already have a portal configured, you'll get this pop-up. But if you don't have a portal configured, then you can do that right away from Zoho CRM itself. And then this is the next screen that you will see. You can push your new visitors as a lead or contact automatically inside Zoho CRM. And then you can assign these leads to either the chat attendee, the person who's attended that chat, or to a user. You can select a user right from here. All right. And then you also have an option to whether you want to disable or enable the visitor notification. So just click on save. All right. So now the next very important step is to embed the chat code. So it's very simple. All you need to do is embed this chat code in the header section of your website. And once you're done with that, your website is ready for visitor tracking. All right, we are done with the demo.
Thank you so much, Radhika. Thank you very much for all the information. It was very informative. And thank you very much for dialing in.